Welcome back to Out of Breath Sports More. It's your boy DtaeNoDinero, and we back with another reaction. A Larry Bird reaction. We got 1986, the best year basketball has ever seen, and we all know Larry Bird, generational player, if not the greatest, because he's changed basketball forever. Don't believe me? Stay tuned. New to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on none of my future videos. And also, be sure to drop some in the comments. Maybe you might think Michael Jordan the best. LeBron. You want me to watch the video? Drop it in the comments. I'll check it out. But this video, let's get into it. The intro, long enough. Anywho, let's get into it though, y'all.
In a 1986 regular season game versus the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics were losing by 22 points at halftime. And in the locker room, the Celtics coach, Casey Jones, gave the team what Larry Bird called one of the best speeches I've ever heard.
Casey Jones got on us 3 times really hard. And that halftime talk he gave is one of the best I've ever heard.
And what happened next is why the 1986 Boston Celtics are the greatest team of all time.
I just don't have any fears about this team playing any team it's ever been. I would take them over anybody.
When you look at the 5 players that were starting, I still think the greatest starting lineup of all time, I think it's the greatest NBA team of all time, is the 85-86 Celtics. I do.
We had a great team. And at the end of the day, we had Red Auerbach, Casey Jones, Larry Bird, and nobody else did. So we'll take our chances anywhere, against anybody, anytime.
Because earlier in that season, on Christmas Day, the Celtics were beating the New York Knicks by 25 points in the second half. However, the Celtics ended up losing that game in one of the most embarrassing losses in Larry Bird's career.
Turnover. Sparrow.
Wow.
The Boston Celtics are faced with the fact that they have squandered a 25-point lead. The underdog Knicks have gone wild at the buzzer, but the Knicks win in a stunning upset. They were down by 25 points and they came back, and this is going to be one of the big comebacks we have seen in many a year, Tom.
The loss to New York on Christmas Day was something that was embarrassing to the players, but nothing really gets them down for long, and you have to do that over an 82-game schedule. You can't have those lows that are going to carry on for days, and you want to just keep consistent play and carry on.
That loss demanded this team to refocus, because after that game, they made a strange promise to each other that sparked one of the most dominant runs in NBA history.
New York was not a great team. It was a team that we should have beat, and but it was a pattern with the team that year. It was a pattern that we would get these big leads and then maybe get a little bored, because again, our minds were really always on the Lakers and the NBA championship.
Losing can be a good thing because we was able to refocus. And not to mention, I think losing keep you humble.
The team got together. Everybody said, okay, look, man, we're dedicated. We lost a Christmas game, a double overtime game to New York, played really poorly, had every chance to win that game. And afterward, everybody got together and said, man, we got to play better than this.
And one night we were sitting around very late and having a really good time. And every night after the games, we were out together.
Well, Bill, after games, used to always come in the locker room and pop a beer. And we all got together. And, I remember Bill Walton, of course, Bill says,
we're really close. We're really close to the championship here. How about we make a vow right now, right here and now amongst ourselves, that nobody will take another drink until we win the championship. And everybody goes, yeah, I'll drink to that.
We're not going to drink until we win the championship.
That never gets old. That never gets old.
We're planning on winning it this year. So Bill said, well, of course. So
I can remember somebody coming in the locker room and said, no more beer or alcohol rest of the year. I like to drink my beer, and I wasn't very happy about it.
Everybody quit drinking, and we all got together. And from that point on, I think we were like 60-10.
The Celtics won 17 out of their next 18 games after that promise, but during that winning streak, they got caught off guard by a stacked Atlanta Hawks team.
We're playing a game down in Atlanta, and this is how long ago this was, because Atlanta was a good team. And they had Dominique. And Doc Rivers. the shot at the buzzer.
And Reggie Theus.
The outlet to Theus. Look at the antelope spin. Gives it. Oh, yes! Holy! And Reggie putting on a show for the home folks.
And Kevin the Penguin Willis.
3 to go. Willis to the baseline. Scored in a foul.
Oh, Willis with a great move.
Tree Rollins.
Bird turns, has the shot blocked.
And all these guys, and we are getting hammered. We're just getting killed.
Everything worked well except the shot itself. Spud Webb. Wow. Atlanta by 15. Right now they are.
So apparently, this game actually happened in Louisiana and not in Atlanta. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a 60-point game. Is this not the 60-point game? I don't know. Somebody in the comments told me that the 60-point game where Larry Bird dropped 60 on Atlanta happened in Louisiana because Atlanta couldn't afford to keep their gym renovated. But I do want to point out the fact that it mattered that Doc Rivers hit a game-winning shot. And people always ask, why is Doc Rivers such a legendary Hall of Fame coach and all he's ever done is won ring? Now, yeah, he has a winning record as a coach, but only winning one ring shouldn't be Hall of Fame worthy. But apparently, off credits to the creator of this video, Doc Rivers hit a game-winning buzzer beater. I know y'all seen it. Y'all want to go back and watch it? Or listen? I apologize, y'all. I know y'all seen it. But it was only like 20 seconds away, so let's go ahead and check it out again.
And Kevin the Penguin Willis.
3 to go. Willis to the baseline. Scored in a foul.
Oh, Willis with a great move.
Tree Rollins.
Bird turns, has the shot blocked.
And all these guys.
But during that winning streak,
How long ago this was team. And they had Dominique. And Doc Rivers.
And Doc Rivers hit a game-winning shot. There you have it. That's what he's done. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if that's for a championship ring or not, but I think if he only got one as a coach, then I mean he only got one as a player too. So I don't know. Drop some in the comments. What y'all think? Let's get right to the video.
And Reggie Theus.
The outlet to Theus. Look at the antelope spin. Gives it. Oh, yes! Holy! And Reggie putting on a show for the home folks.
And Kevin the Penguin Willis.
3 to go. Willis to the baseline. Scored in a foul.
Oh, Willis with a great move.
Tree Rollins.
Bird turns, has the shot blocked.
And all these guys, and we are getting hammered. We're just getting killed.
Everything worked well except the shot itself. Spud Webb. Wow. Atlanta by 15. Right now they are blowing the Celtics away here in the first half.
Question as far as Atlanta's concerned is, can they sustain this emotional high for 48 minutes? This is not easy to do, even at home in front of a sellout crowd. Pick a category in this game, and the Celtics lost it.
Yes,
well, Atlanta won it, I should say, because this is a good old-fashioned beating up to now. Now they're still shooting from outside, trying to get back into it.
Eddie Johnson goes coast to coast. Atlanta leads by 23.
Eddie Johnson, the little guard on our team, got into it with Bird and McHale, I think, walking off the floor. I didn't know anything about it.
Eddie was weak all week because not in his right frame of mind.
Loose ball foul is called on the Atlanta Hawks. Now Eddie and Dennis Johnson are going after each other. Eddie Johnson went to throw the ball at Dennis. And Tree Rollins is entering the picture, as is Randy Whitman.
Atlanta. They talk trash. They're up by 20 at halftime.
Yeah, that was in
the crowd's yelling and all that stuff. You used to like that, though. You used to like when the crowd got on you.
When the fans were into it, or we wasn't into it, they let us know. Now it's time to battle.
And at the end of the first half, a standing ovation at the Omni for the red-hot Atlanta Hawks. They lead the Celtics 70-48.
And Atlanta had been waiting, I guess, about a month to just get us. They'd been on the roll. And little did we know coming in that they had this kind of emotion built up already. They started the first quarter off and just ran us off the court. At halftime, we're down 23. It was not enough. They had a 23-point lead at the time. But they also had to verbalize. At halftime, then Robert Perry said, they're talking at us, they're slamming us, and then they're talking more. And each time he mentioned a word, it seems like he got a little more angry.
We're down 25 at the half, and they're all trash talking, and fans are throwing stuff at us, and we're going to kill you, Celtics. Bird, Walton, McHale, Parrish, DJ, you guys are all frauds. What are you talking about? So we come in.
Yeah, I have to say, R.I.P. Bill Walton. But isn't he such a great storyteller? I mean, he's just a very passionate talker like myself. But he's a great storyteller. If you still here, be sure to drop a like button for Bill Walton and Larry Bird, Boston Celtics. Just drop a like.
Halftime, we're just sulking in there with tails between our legs. We walk in, we're sitting in the locker room, and Casey Jones, our fantastic coach, the most like John Wooden of any coach I've ever been a part of.
Casey Jones got on us 3 times really hard. And that halftime talk he gave is one of the best I've ever heard.
Casey walks in, he looks at us, looks at his watch, doesn't say a word, walks over to the cooler and pulls out a beer. Pops the beer, goes and sits down, pounds down the beer, just sitting there. Finishes the beer, looks at his watch, looks at us, goes over to the cooler and gets a second beer. Pops the beer, pounding it down, doesn't say a word. Looks at his watch, looks around at us, goes and gets a third beer, does the same thing. And then he gets up, looks at his watch for the final time, and he says,
a lot of you guys have been here for a long time, but obviously you don't know what it means to be a Celtic. You know, the whole thing about having pride, you're wearing the jersey. And he never screamed or never yelled, and he goes, you know, we got it in us to come back and win this game, but we have to do it. We got to dictate the second half of how we want to play. But once I stepped on the parquet, you felt indebted to him to at least go out there and try to do something special that night and win a basketball game.
let's go. So we go out there and we're warming up to start the third quarter. And they got a record sellout crowd there at the Omni.
Sellout crowd on hand. It was the earliest sellout for this game in Atlanta Hawks history, and it will be the biggest crowd they've ever had.
And then the team comes out in the second half, just eye of the tiger, and it's a great game.
That's
it's a
the first.
That's it to Bird, who had 14 in the first half and now has 16. To get into when something goes wrong, Bird. That's 18 points in the ball game for Larry Bird.
We come out in the second half, and you can see right at the beginning, Bird was brutal with his trash talk.
Now Ainge. They find Bird open. He winds up from 20. 3 for 3 for Larry Bird in the second half. 20 points for the game.
We learned the lesson. You know, don't wake up the sleeping dog, and we woke him up.
Ahead to Dennis Johnson. DJ will take it all the way. Has it Blake. Blake comes up with it. The basket counts and it's fouled. Back play by Larry Bird.
Larry Bird started the second half by hitting 11 straight shots because he had the Mamba mentality before it even existed. Larry Bird once said, "I've got a theory that if you give 100% all of the time, somehow things will work out in the end. Push yourself again and again. Don't give an inch until the final buzzer." And that's exactly what he did that night.
Into the hands of Dennis Johnson. Livingston is in replacing Willis for Atlanta. Bird at the other end has Whitman on him, a much smaller man. Bird, spectacular. Larry Bird, 24 points for Bird.
Oh, Bird, not to be outdone, starting to put on a little show of his own now. Looks like an off-balance, low-percentage shot. Meanwhile, he got nothing but net.
And Bird is smoking. He's got 12 points in this quarter and 26 in the ball game.
Don't turn off that set yet, folks.
You watch an NBA game, and nobody wants to ever take the ball out of bounds because they know they're never going to get it back. Larry Bird always took the ball out of bounds. The selfless sacrifice that was Larry Bird's defining personal characteristic, what he would do to make other people's dreams come true. He's going to take the ball out of bounds, and that referee comes, and the referee hands the ball to Larry to start the third. We're down 25. Larry takes the ball and pushes it back into the midsection of the referee so that he can't get away, and the referee is like startled, staggered. What's going on here? We're all right there right in front of the Celtic bench.
And Larry looks right into the soul, right through the eyes of that referee. And he says to him, "We're not going to quit. You make sure you don't quit either." The guy just like melted on the spot. Larry hit 11 straight shots to start the third, including 7 threes. We were tied at the end of the third. We won in overtime. We did not need a plane to get home last night. That night. Larry Bird, you're awesome.
No, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Bill Walton, first and foremost. You could tell he has real respect and a lot of appreciation for Larry Bird. It's just sad to say he's not here with us anymore. I could tell by the way he told that story. And he told it in a way where he saved the best part for last. We're not gonna quit, so make sure you're not gonna quit. He made sure he saved that part for last. 2 overtimes and they won. Maybe this is the 60-point game. 4-minute version? You think it's just like him just playing basketball. This version, whoa. Intense. To be down 20 points in half, then to bring your team back and then get the dub in 2 overtimes? Legendary. Yeah, ask me in my opinion. If you're still here at this point in time in the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's your boy DtaeNoDinero. And I do want to apologize. I was hungry. It's early in the morning and I had to eat something. I apologize. But I had a mic off, so you couldn't hear it. Let's get back to the video, y'all.
Strong comeback here in the third quarter. Ainge finds Bird cutting through. Larry fall away. Glass. 2 more. 31 points for Bird. Wow. 17 in this quarter. A moment ago, they took their lead. Bird in the lane. 33 points for number 33. Celtics lead 100-98. Parrish hits Larry Bird with it. 18-footer. Go! Larry Bird! 35 for Bird. And the Celtics have a 3-point lead with 48 seconds left. And what a comeback. Down by 22 at the half. The Celtics have gone ahead by 3 with 48 seconds left, Goose. He intentionally misses that one. Robert Parrish gets the rebound to Larry Bird. Ball game. Celtics win it by 3. What a win. A great win for the Celtics.
So I was wrong. It's not the 60-point game. It's 35. But you know what? Same point. Same point. To be down by 20 points. Bring your team back. And the way Bill Walton told the story. I'm just letting y'all know. I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, I hope you hit the like button when I ask you to.
Here at the Omni in Atlanta tonight. And they're slapping high fives as they go off the floor. A marvelous overtime victory. The final score here from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. The Celtics 125 and the Atlanta Hawks 122.
And we got out there and we ended up beating them.
That was my favorite regular season win from the '86 team, which was my favorite team.
Bill Walton.
Oh my God. Winner, we'd win a game. Bill would come in and open the beer, and I was going, that was the best game I've ever been involved in. And the next night, that was the absolute best game I've ever been involved with.
This game was the greatest comeback of...
Bill Walton was a fan, even then. Bill Walton was a fan, even in '86.
Larry Bird's career. But little did Bill Walton know that a few weeks later, Larry Bird would have one of the most iconic games in NBA history.
Larry was well known for predicting what he was going to do on the road trips. They asked Larry, well, so Larry, you come to the end of the road trip. Well, what do you got in store? You've achieved all your milestones. He said, I'm going to play this game left-handed. And they said, yeah, right. So no, I'm going to play left-handed. And if the game's in doubt in the fourth quarter, I'll switch back to right-handed. But he played the entire game left-handed. And he had a triple-double.
Paratrooper caught from Kersey, 2 points for Bird. That was a great shot. I mean, made it look easier. He shot that with the left hand, floating underhander, and made it look simple.
This is the year he starts shooting left hand more and more. culminating in the game in Portland. I do believe that the game got almost too easy for him. So he was manufacturing little challenges for himself.
You have to play games left-handed, or you have to do different things to keep your interest in the game.
I'm sorry, y'all. How terrible was Portland? How terrible was Portland for Bird to come into their establishment and not only just beat you and treat you like you're nothing, but to do it all with your offhand? You know? I really am a fan of Larry Bird because when it comes to him playing mind games, he reminds me of myself. I say this all the time. It's just so many characteristics of Larry Bird. I feel like maybe someone in my family that I used to I idolized and looked up to, maybe they were a fan of Larry Bird and never told me because I don't know. I don't know. But how do you feel about it? How do you feel about Larry Bird walking into Portland, their home court, and telling them, I'm not even going to take y'all serious. I'm going to play with my left hand. And if he get close, then I might bring the right hand out. But I don't think I really need it. That's how I low-key want to just fact-check the real chick with y'all. But no, we're going to stay on topic. We're going to finish the video. We can fact-check it in a short. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the shorts, too.
Left hand again, and that's what makes him so tough. The fact that he has the ability to use both hands in close to the basket, something all young basketball players should strive to do. Perfect both hands in close.
On Valentine's Day in 1986, without his second-best player, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird disrespected an entire team by playing the game left-handed. And at the end of 3 quarters, Larry Bird had 27 points, nearly all of them left-handed. He was literally toying with the entire league.
I had a good left hand around the basket, and they always, if you watch, if I remember the game correctly, they were forcing me left to help, and they wasn't getting there quick enough, so I had shots around 5-6 foot with my left hand. I felt more comfortable with my left hand there than I did my right. Then once I got started making a few, I just kept going.
Larry Bird from Johnson, excellent pass, and another 2 points with the left hand to Larry Bird if you're counting. He's got 31. Still 4:10 remaining here in the third quarter.
But here's how this legendary game was even more impressive than the legend itself. Because in the fourth quarter, it was a very close game, and over the span of 5 possessions, Bird made 3 consecutive insane left-handed shots. Most NBA players would never even dream of trying a left-handed floater in transition, but Bird casually faked one defender, avoided another, and lobbed a shot off the glass to put the Celtics up by 6.
Larry Bird in the left hand again. 35 for Larry. And he has a triple-double. He's got 11 rebounds and 10 assists.
And after a Blazers 3 cut the lead in half, Larry was still using his left hand and buried a hook shot that no other player has ever mastered other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he did it left-handed.
For Bird. Another left-hander by Larry Bird.
Larry's mixture of skill, creativity, and flat-out arrogance to pull off a sweeping left-handed hook shot during a close game in the fourth quarter has to be top 5 most savage moments of Larry Bird's career.
Agreed. Gotta be one of the top 5 most savage moments of Larry Bird's career. I have to agree. Playing the whole game left-handed when you're right-handed and you're playing against people like Clyde Drexler. I mean, I just asked, how sad was Portland back in the day? They couldn't have been that sad. They had Clyde Drexler. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to go too far. I already talked too much. I know y'all probably like, man, he always pausing the video. He just want to watch the video. But we've all watched these videos several times, so it's the commentary that you love the most, right? Did you like the video?
Crazy was fourth quarter close game, and all of a sudden he breaks out the most insanely batshit nuts left-handed shots in the world, throwing left-handed floaters off the glass in transition from like 12 feet, and then the very next play just throws in a sweeping lefty hook from like 10 feet, and then 2 possessions later has a sweeping lefty and 1 hook, and it's like, okay, Like, you never see any offhand shots like that, and he did 3 in a row while they were holding off a charge. So Larry was a cold-blooded man, and you didn't need me to tell you that.
And with under a minute to go, the game was tied up, and Larry Bird decided that he should go back to his right hand and put the Portland Trail Blazers out of their misery. But as Larry went for the kill, a bizarre no call puts the Celtics in deep trouble.
Bird in a great move. No foul, no goaltending. 3-on-2 for Portland. Drexler, Vandaway. Timeout Boston. They can't believe it. Going over to the official saying he hung on the rim, and he's right. It should have been goaltending, Belt.
Let's
now
take a look at it. Let's see if Bird gets hit.
There's the hanging on the rim on the shot by Bowie. That was goaltending with the ball up there. Portland now with a 2-point lead in 41
Definitely
seconds.
goaltending.
And down by 2, Larry Bird puts the team on his back.
Drexler. Percy had it, but Bird comes down with the big rebound. Larry Bird. We're tied with 6 seconds left. Timeout. Portland. Bird with 43 points.
This game-tying shot sent the game into overtime. And in overtime, with the Celtics down by 1 with 17 seconds on the clock and Larry Bird's historical performance on the line, Larry Bird does exactly what he's been known to do over and over and over again in the clutch.
Game clock, top of your screen. Larry Bird with 3 seconds left. Timeout for Portland. 47 points for Larry Bird.
47.
Celtics, as they usually do, have prevailed here in overtime from Portland. Our player of the game, our Light Beer and Turner Broadcasting most valuable player, is Larry Bird with 47 points on 62% shooting,
my.
14 rebounds, 11 assists. He had 1 steal and 1 block. Another triple-double for Larry Bird, his second consecutive one.
Remember, y'all, they were down by 20 at halftime.
Goes in, some night it don't. That night it happened to work out. But if I remember correctly, we won that game in overtime by like 1 point. So, you know, I probably should have shot my right hand the whole game.
After that game, a reporter named Dan Shaughnessy wrote an article in the Boston Globe titled, "Just Call Him Lefty Bird," where Larry Bird said, "I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers." This Larry Bird trash talking story is just one of many, because that same year, for All-Star Weekend, the NBA held its very first three-point shooting competition, and Larry Bird unleashed his best trash talking one-liner of all time.
Speaking of shooting threes, Coach, you at the three-point competition, walking in the locker room, who's playing? Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did. I sort of felt bad because Leon Wood never crossed the three-point line. All he did was he always shot threes. So I thought he might be the competition. When I walked in there, he's sitting there, and I said, okay, now they're down to the nitty-gritty. Who's coming in second? You already know who's going to win this. I think they were a little nervous.
And during this three-point shootout, as Larry Bird hit 11 straight threes, he decided to hit one off the backboard just for fun.
Wait a second, off the glass.
That check said my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing.
And after the All-Star break, Larry Bird and the Celtics cruised to the #1 seed in the playoffs, as Larry Bird inevitably wins his 3rd MVP award.
Larry has had back.
So when we talk about comparisons here, just remember, Larry Bird is one of the very few who've won 3 MVPs, and he did it consecutively. I'm talking about year after year after year. I mean, when this guy was in his prime, he was in his prime. I mean, there's no telling what he would have done, how many more championships he would have had, how many more MVPs he could have gotten if he never got injured. Maybe this is probably better for TikTok, but yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the video, y'all.
Back MVPs, and he's like headed toward a 3rd MVP.
There was a guy who wasn't the fastest, wasn't the highest jumper, wasn't the tallest, wasn't the strongest, but he was the best.
He mastered the game. He literally mastered the game.
Here's a 1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember,
let's see what it says. As nearly perfect as you can get. In the glorious 7th season, the 7th season, Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics is demonstrating that he may be the NBA's best player of all time. Remember, he only played 13 seasons, so that's only 6 more seasons after the 7th one. So he's already over the 50% mark of his career. So yeah.
This is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best. But as soon as the playoffs started, Larry Bird and the Celtics would get tested by someone who was trying to take his throne. And in Game 1, Michael Jordan dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game, with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By Game 2, Michael Jordan had a revelation.
And this is Game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try, because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but
throne. And in Game 1, Michael Jordan dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game, with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By Game 2, Michael Jordan had a revelation.
and this is Game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try, because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we.
Hey, listen, I have to admit, I see exactly why people say Michael Jordan is the best player of all time. You know, just watching him play, yeah. But there's a difference between being a 1v1 basketball player and a 5 versus 5 basketball player, or 10v10, 12v12, whatever it is, 14v14, who knows. There's a big difference between that. You know, in YouTube right now, there's this space where a lot of basketball players are competing against each other. And I don't know how familiar some of you are with it, but if you are, you know what I'm talking about. You know that there's, G League and NBA basketball players coming into this space, and, it's basically putting a spotlight and a magnifying glass on how good NBA players actually are when it comes to them being 1v1 players and actually playing on a 5v5 team. So with that being said, Michael Jordan is a great 1v1 player, and I can see it all day, every day. He played against Larry Bird. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan will be able to go toe-to-toe with Larry Bird because he's a great 1v1 basketball player. But 5v5, in order for you to get a win, it takes the whole team to do that. And Larry Bird was the one who does that. And to me, that is why I say Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time. Not just because, he hit a bunch of buzzer beaters or, his passing ability and so on and so forth, his morals. But if you agree with my take, make sure you let that be known, because people seem to get it twisted. They think we're trying to say that LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, whoever you think your greatest basketball player is, that they couldn't beat Larry Bird. Of course, I'm not saying that. But we're letting you know that basketball is a team sport. And in a team sport, there's other attributes that maybe you aren't good at that Larry Bird was good at while he was able to score, while he was able to lead, while he had those characteristics and the morale, while he was able to be clutch, while he was patient, while he was, and the list goes on. But now I'm overglazing. If y'all don't know what that is, that means I'm just giving the man too much praise. And I'm a huge fan. But yeah, I don't want to give too much praise.
Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56
1v1.
for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader, Jordan, with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But Larry Bird left with the most important statistic of all, the W.
10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll, Parrott.
We got to check out that whole game.
Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
But if memory serves me correct.
All right, Stephen A. Smith. All you had to say on Bird like that, but you know what? We get it. We do that to LeBron. Oh, somebody dropped just because Cleveland had lost in the past, so they dropped 25 on Bron. But nobody, the guy that dropped 25 wasn't even scoring. LeBron wasn't even guarding. I get it. It's Stephen A. Smith. Come on now, bro. Like, why? Calm down. I know this is old. I'm just saying, though. Just calm down. Relax.
He lost. Swept. No, not lost. They got swept. Okay.
Facts.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass. Did we not? I rest my case.
And after Larry Bird and the Celtics swept Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the first round, the Celtics dominated their way to the NBA Finals. And
hold on, y'all. Hold on. That wasn't the only thing he did. He went bald. My bad. I love Michael Jordan. Icon. But he definitely went bald next.
The Bulls in the first round, the Celtics dominated their way to the NBA Finals and was looking forward to facing their biggest rival, the Los Angeles Lakers. But the Houston Rockets beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals on this last-second shot.
Hakeem Olajuwon has been ejected. So has Mitch Kupchak. McRae will inbound. 1 second on the clock. Sampson.
Whoa. What is going on here? Y'all never told me that the Houston beat the Lakers like that. Now we talking about videos that we gotta watch. I'm sorry, but this might be one we have to watch, and Larry Bird is not gonna be in it. They was just on there throwing fists, and then with 1 second on the clock, the man catches the ball and just throws it up, and it just goes in. Either it's magnets or it's magic. You ain't never seen that video? I posted it on my YouTube channel a long time ago. Let's get back to this video, man. This is a wonderful video. I enjoyed it a lot so far. If you have as much as I have, I hope that you're in the likes as much as I could be in the likes, and also in the comments. as much as I'm going to be in the comments, because once y'all start commenting, I'm going to respond to everybody. But we got to watch that whole game, y'all. We got to watch that whole game. I don't know where my Houston fans at. I don't know where my Laker fans at. But we got to watch that whole video. Yeah, we got to watch that whole video. We got to watch that whole game. Got to find that game. We got to find that. I don't know what year that was, but I got to find it. I got to find it. Let's get back to it, though. I apologize for, doing what I always do. Never being out of breath. Yeah, can't even be mad about that loss. Ralph Sampson. I know they named streets after him. Right now in Houston, it's a street named after him.
No question about it. But Houston was an upcoming team with Elijah Wan, and they had a very good team.
And after 4 games of the NBA Finals, the Celtics were leading the series 3-1. But in Game 5, the Rockets went back to their home court and literally fought for their lives.
Police onto the floor. At the bottom of the pile is Walton and Sampson right now. It all started with Sampson and Jerry Seasting, and they're still going at it, and there's blood.
You can't be doing that. I mean, I thought it was.
Y'all, I didn't stretch this video out, haven't I? I apologize. I see why there's so much beef with the people that come to Texas from the Midwest and the East Coast. Who knew that they had this much of a fist fight, a brawl, over the championship ring? And we all know who walked away with that. Y'all see it back there. Y'all see it back there. Y'all know y'all see that. Let me go and pan it up there for you. Y'all see that. Y'all see that. Y'all know who won. Y'all know who won. I'm just saying, no. But, I see why there's so much beef. Yeah, I am a Boston fan. I am a Larry Bird fan. So now I understand why people don't like me down here. And it's fine. We got the dubs. We got the championship ring. Let's get back to the video. I apologize, y'all. I'm really done now. I'm done now. We're going to finish this video off strong. I'm being quiet. I'm about to cut the mic off. But I really hope you like the video as much as I like this video, because they were fighting. And we got to watch this game too. Oh, yeah. Make sure you become a member when I make the membership page active. I'm thinking $4.99 a month. That ain't nothing. Just for a video every once in a while that we all watch together. And guess what? Y'all can go live and watch the video with me. We can all be watching the video together. I apologize, y'all. Look at me moving too fast. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped up about this video. Moving too fast. Let's get it.
Can't be doing that. I mean, I thought it was distasteful from both sides. I think that you just got to play the game. It was a game that we wanted to win. We wanted to get the series over with, because anything can happen if you stay out there long enough. You get guys injured. We were better than that. We should have, I don't know about sweeping them, but we should never have lost Game 5.
We had got pushed around in Game 5. And then we had practice the next day on Saturday. Everybody was really quiet.
But there was one person who wasn't worried at all, and that was number 33. And I remember him on that Saturday afternoon of practice saying that we need rebounds, we're going to get rebounds. We need this, we're going to get that. We're going to be fine. Larry Bird assured the world, we're going to be fine.
Because Game 6 was at the Boston Garden, the most ruthless stadium in all of sports. And Larry Bird said, Sampson and the rest of the Rockets better put on their hard hats, because our fans can get nasty too. There will be a lot of contact in Boston.
And I was in Boston when you're facing the Celtics with.
I'm sorry. I know I said I was Boston, no. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, has prime Larry Bird outdid himself with this video. This is one juicy video. You know what? I watched this story before. And Houston was all the way wrong for the way that they did Danny Ainge. You know, Danny Ainge was like, you know, always the wild young boy on Boston Celtics. And, you know, he was just over athletic, you know, played baseball, other sports, box, wrestling, whatever. And he was just one of those wild athletic boys. And I respect him. But the way that they tried to do him on that basketball court, because they kept setting up the mismatch, it was just disrespectful. And the way Dennis Johnson came up to help and Danny Ainge out when the scuffle started, that was respectable. But the way that Boston, the whole city of Boston, came together to tell these guys about themselves when they came to their home court. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a time to be alive. What a time to be a Boston fan. Hey, let's see what happened, y'all. Let's see what happened. I apologize, but this video is great.
Jerry Seasting thing with the fight, and I mean that crowd was the garden was pretty tough on you, Ralph.
It was tough because the hallways that don't come to Boston, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna do this, whatever.
You got death threats?
You got a few threats, but we played anyway, so it was all right.
I was at that game. I was in the tunnel. I think everybody was there like 45 minutes before that game. People were just ready. Yeah. And when Samson walked out, he walked by us. You could just see he was done. Yeah. He was petrified. And he should have been. He was like, really seemed like he was going to get killed.
He's picking on Jerry Seasting. Come on.
And so we get into the game, and Larry's out doing his pregame warm-up, and we're all in the locker room stretching and working it out.
We were in the locker room, and, you know, you could hear fans out there, but in '86 at Game 6, that locker room sounded like they was in the locker room.
And the crowd is absolutely going berserk about an hour before the game.
And then Larry comes into the locker room and he looks at us all, gathered all our attention. He says, guys, I was just out there in the crowd. It's an hour and a half before game time. And the crowd is already in. And they're ready. And right now, they want the blood of the Houston Rockets.
Hey, I'm telling you, them fans want blood out there. And they don't care whose it is. We lose, it's our blood.
That if we don't deliver today, they're going to want our blood. Now, let's get going. Who's coming with me?
I don't think anybody could have beat us that day. We were on. We made some mistakes early, but the energy was there.
49-1. Legendary record.
We knew if we continue to play hard, we were going to win.
I stunk it up. It was one of the worst performances of my career. Larry had to call a timeout because Akeem had stolen the ball from me a bunch of times and went. We had a big lead. Larry and Kevin were playing great. And then Akeem just started stealing the ball from me, and I was just bobbling everything. And Larry calls timeout, and he walks over to Casey Jones and says, Casey, you got one choice. You can either take me out or you can take Walton out right now. Casey Jones, he did the right thing and took me out.
But aside from Bill Walton's early blunders, the Celtics proceeded to show why they had the greatest home court advantage of all time.
Wow.
Because after Ralph Sampson punched Celtic player Jerry Seasting in Game 5, the Celtics crowd, as you can imagine, didn't like Ralph Sampson at all. And they made sure that he knew it.
I apologize. I thought that was Danny Ainge that he was fighting. It was Ralph. It was Seasting. I apologize about that. I know you guys are going to let me know in the comments, and you're not going to let me forget. So I want to take my accountability right now. I apologize. It was Seasting. I was wrong. But I knew that he punched Seasting first because of that mismatch. And it was uncool. It was unfair. I mean, he was already like a foot taller than him. Seasting's like 7'4". I mean, Samsung's like 7'4". Seasting's like 6'3", 6'2".
There was all this hate letters and calls and whatever it may be. So we get in the game, and you know how the Garden was. It just hyped up and you're ready to play. There was a mannequin or stuffed animal or stuffed human figure, right, with socks and jerseys and 50, and it had an afro wig on it, whatever, and then it had number 50 on it, had Samson back, and they had a noose hanging up over the rail of the Boston Garden. Like, they were gonna hang me when I got there. But you know, it was something you look at, and now you look at it again and see the magnitude of it. It's kind of crazy, right? That you have to go in an arena and play, and they allow that to happen in the arena. I don't think they would do that today. If somebody did today, probably security would take them out. But, you know, it's nature of the beast in Boston. You understand their passion, though, for their team. But then you do something against their team, then some people may do that.
And that's one thing about fans. I mean, Boston fans, I never seen the opposing fans going to get on anyone like I seen them get on Ralph Sampson. They might as well just took him home because I think he ended up with 2 points and 2 rebounds. And I think the game before they had like 24 and 22. Yeah. I mean, they took him completely out of the game.
Into the action. Tough to play on the road, and the Celtics have won 40 straight here. Sampson turnaround over McHale.
And there was this one elderly woman who was maybe 5 feet tall and maybe weighed 80 pounds. And she had a front row courtside seat. And she brought a sign that was bigger than she was. And she said, "Hey, Ralph." And she's referring to the big fight with Jerry Seasting, who was a little tiny guy himself. And she goes, "Hey, Ralph, I'm 5 feet tall and 92 years old. You want to fight me too?" And this lady just stood in the front on the edge of the court. She never sat down. She just yelled and screamed at Ralph the whole time.
Boston only lost 1 game.
And that's the point to be made. Yeah, did the fans get their message across to Ralph using some graphic ways? They did. As a Boston fan and knowing the backstory, you got what you deserved. Nobody actually did any physical harm to you like you did to Seasting. But, you know, as you clearly can see, no one likes bullies. You're 7'4", you know, go do that against another 7'4" guy, you know, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or whatever. No, I don't get it twisted. I said we got to watch the Lakers versus the Houston game because they were fighting in that game too, but I don't think Seasting was the type of guy at that point in time for Boston who was the muscle. He was just an extra point guard there to help give Danny Ainge a break, Dennis Johnson a break, or whoever else was out there. Definitely took advantage of a situation. And they did what they did. You did what you did. It's over with. But we know. We don't know. Let's watch the video. I know. Some of y'all might know too.
At home that entire season, in part because of that Celtics home crowd.
I'm sorry, y'all. Let's go ahead and rewind it a little bit.
Me too. And this
shout out to that granny too. I'm only 5'2". You probably hit me too. Point made. Point made. Everything I just said, she's made. Point made. She know you're too big, dude. You're too big to be trying to take advantage like that, bro. In a basketball game where black people already dominate the sport. You're 7'4". You dominate the sport, and you still go ahead and you do something as drastic as punching some. You don't get it twisted. He's a man. He's a kid. He's a man. But at the same time, bro, come on, man. I mean, let's just get to the video. I'm over it. I'm over it, y'all.
He just stood in the front on the edge of the court. She never sat down. She just yelled and screamed at Ralph the whole time.
Boston only lost 1 game at home that entire season, in part because of that Celtics home crowd, but mainly because Larry Bird was the best player on the planet. And in Game 6, he showed exactly why.
What did we get on that Sunday afternoon? We got what Larry Bird maintains to this day was the game in which he was, and I quote him, most prepared ever to play. All I know is this: prepared, whatever degree he says he was, it was one of the greatest individual performances.
Y'all see that little nudge? Y'all see that little nudge? Yeah, he nudged him. Yeah, Ralph tried to walk up to Larry Bird. He probably thought Larry Bird was going to say something to him. No, Larry Bird was locked in. You punched my teammate. Y'all embarrassed us. Y'all treated us like with no respect when y'all was in y'all home. You in our home. We going to do y'all the same way, if not worse. Simple as that. I'm Larry Bird. Come on now. You heard what the guy said. Greatest player of all time on the planet.
I quote him.
Watch the nudge. Watch the nudge.
All I know is this: prepared, whatever degree he says he was.
There it come right here. Ha.
Greatest individual performances. I think it may have been his greatest game.
McRae on Bird. Step back shot.
It was spectacular because in a game of a lot of winners of the genetic lottery. I mean, you had Akeem, you had Ralph, who were just brilliant. You had Kevin McHale, you had the Chief, and here was Larry. Larry got every rebound. Larry made every steal. He made every pass. He just literally did everything and made the rest of the world seem inconsequential.
Bill Walton said, Number 33 had gone out and painted the perfect Larry Bird masterpiece. And it wasn't even about the numbers. It was about his effort on both ends of the floor. A seemingly lost art for superstars of today.
Yeah.
He was all over the court, double teaming and getting back to his assignment, in the passing lanes, forcing turnovers left and right, and diving for every loose ball. But the moment that best describes his effort that night was when he dove on the floor and forced a jump ball against 7-foot Hall of Fame center Hakeem Olajuwon. And without batting an eye, Larry Bird, who wouldn't impress anybody with his jumping ability, did this.
He got a jump ball against Olajuwon. Now, he can't do that, but he did it, okay? He was omnipresent defensively. He anticipated where they wanted the ball. He was like a one-man zone, quite frankly. He was going crazy, but he was everywhere.
Michael Jordan summed it up perfectly when he was told to list Larry Bird's weaknesses. MJ said, "Larry Bird can't jump, and he's not that quick, but he makes up for it by using his head, analyzing the opponent. It makes him better than the competition. Consequently, he doesn't have a weakness."
Oh my gosh. And then the second half started, and it was just phenomenal because he just kept going. He would post up about 18, 20 feet away, and he'd get the ball, and they would in poor Rodney McRae or whoever they would have on it, Robert Reed. I mean, I'm sure they tried Ralph and Hakeem on him. It didn't matter. He could have put all 5 guys on him, and they couldn't stop it.
The numbers won't show it. It was a very nice routine triple-double, 29, 11, 12, something like that. And he just totally dominated the game in every way. And of course, the artistic highlight, was when he, on the right box, zigzag dribbles out to the corner to turn around and hit a 3 and go, and when they were pouring it on in the second half.
Dennis Johnson. Sampson and Walton. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3 out of it. He gets it.
He would dribble out to the three-point line, and then without even looking, he would just throw it back up there, and he'd run down the court with his arms in the air and his finger pointed up, saying, "We're number one." And the Celtic crowd was just saying, "Here we go, Celtics. Here we go." It was absolutely fantastic. Larry Bird, the greatest player I ever played with, by far.
The Celtics dominated that game, and Larry Bird was rightfully crowned Finals MVP. Larry Bird said, "That was the only game that I thought I was totally prepared for. As far as the focus was concerned, none better, never. I should have quit right there."
I never saw a man play a better game of basketball, ever. That's the greatest individual performance. The defensive dominance that Larry did on that afternoon in June of '86. I would love just that tape to be shown to every high school and college coach, every pro coach now, just everybody, just say, "Tyler, you can't play basketball better than this. You can't."
And after that series, Hakeem Olajuwon called Larry Bird the best all-around player that I've ever seen.
We won the championship. We played unbelievable. The team was so in sync. But it's how we won. It's the ball movement. It's you go back and look at that. There were 7 passes. The ball didn't touch the ground. Everybody on the team touched it, and you had guys just dropping things, and we would run out teams, and it was just so much fun playing. That moment was like the pinnacle of your career. I remember telling my wife, I was driving home, and I went like, I just don't know how I can get better than this.
Everybody's always asked my best game, but I would take that night in and night out, yes.
This Celtics championship put the finishing touches on a perfect year, where Larry Bird also won the regular season MVP, finished with a home record of 50-1, and was awarded the Associated Press's Athlete of the Year across all sports.
Wow.
The 1986 Boston Celtics were the best team ever, with the best player ever having his best game ever. It really gets no better than that.
All year and win 50 and lose only 1 on the parquet floor.
Wow.
In a 19...
Well, no need for a long outro, considering the fact that I updated the equipment. I hope y'all enjoyed the video as much as I did. I can pause more, make things more quicker. I did talk a lot in this video, but this video was already 35 minutes long, so we if it did turn out to be an hour-long video, I hope for this last hour that you really enjoyed everything about the video. My commentary, the stories of Larry Bird, everything about this video was just, to me, perfect. But it's your boy DtaeNoDinero. Be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. That way, whenever Larry Bird I drop another Larry Bird reaction, which will be soon, back to back. I'm telling you, we about to go back to back. You'll be able to keep up with all of the videos, keep up with all the comments. I try to get back to everybody's comments lately. Lately it's just been a long few weeks, but I have been, working, as y'all clearly can see. But yes, drop some in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about the video. It's your boy DtaeNoDinero. I'm gonna get this video uploaded to y'all as soon as I can. Hopefully it's before 8 p.m. today, which is September 4th. So if you're seeing this after 8 a.m., then I got it up to y'all late. But other than that, peace, y'all. Let's get it. Silly.
I should love you. You complete me, but I might be fool. In my world, dreams come true. I can't grow without you.